You're listening to Inside Real Estate with Irv Tremblay on Newstalk 980.
Irv, good to see you again. How have you been?
Terrific. New year, exciting. The market's good. Lots of snow. Everything's white out there. Good weather. Couldn't be better.
Chance to turn the key here, of course, is what we're talking about. Inside Real Estate with Irv Tremblay.
Yeah.
Let's touch on the markets as we kind of roll into the new year here. And how are things looking in Regina?
Well, I think they're looking good. I'm excited. It's a little bit like last January. I think slightly better. And we had a good January, February, March, April, May, June. Slowed up a bit in July, but we're coming out of the chute very similar to last year, slightly better. And I think we had 513 listings today. Sales, I think we've had 140 some. And
that's a little ahead of last year this time.
Yeah, I think we had 120 some last year.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's good. We've got quite a few under contract. Hopefully they'll all close. 13 failures already, and we want to help those people out on the show because we're still covering off expired listings or failures.
We are going to talk expireds.
But really good. And I guess the advice for sellers is when you have 513 listings, get your house on the market. Everybody I talk to, I'm going to, when I'm talking about sellers, I'm going to put my house on the market in March, April, May. For 4 years now, we've been covering off that isn't necessarily the best time. Go on the market now. I did a market for a lady, and I've got to list her property. She's got a bungalow out east, and she hardly has any competition whatsoever. And so that's when you want to be on.
Supply and demand.
I talked to her in the fall, and she was on the market before, and her house didn't sell. And I said, there's no way you're going to get that price. You have 10 competitive houses. Now she hardly has any. So that is the time to be on.
Well, and this is, and again, I think it's a misconception, and we've talked about it time and time and time again. It's, oh, no, it's cold, no, I want to wait till the grass comes up, and, we can get the buds on the trees, and it'll look so much nicer, and yeah, it will, but so will everyone else's.
Well, And we used the example last March or April of the people with the pool that I had to just twist their arm to put their house on the market in Albert Park because they had no competition and they wanted to wait for that pool to be open. Sold it right away, got them a great price, got them a possession. So timing.
People have seen pools.
Yeah.
People know what a tree is. They know what grass looks like. They can do that little visualization thing and go, okay, this is going to look great.
Well, and that's where these days pictures, and that's another favorite topic of mine, that really does help out, is that you can take those photographs of the pool and show them what the pool's like and get the best of both worlds. You hit the right market, plus you can show them what the yard looks like. Tough to see these days because my yard, I have about 6.5 feet of snow in it. So
yeah, there's a little bit in there.
Yeah.
Except for the dog's a broken trail just to kind of get through. But kind of dash hunt. It's a very low trail.
Exactly. Sure.
Let's talk a bit about people who maybe, let's say, have been on the market. Their listings have expired. Now they're going, oh, okay, I'm going to have to wait till spring, wait till summer again. Number one, you're saying, look, now is the time. See what the competition is like. And let's talk a bit about the expireds, because we want to kind of get into more of this. What do you do when you've got the expired listing?
Well, if you are an expired, what you really want to do is you want to hire most of the time, and some agents aren't going to like this, but this show isn't about what agents like. It's giving good advice to sellers and buyers. Most of the time, you probably want to hire a new agent. And the reason for that is that you want to hire an agent the second time around that's an experienced agent and experienced in selling expired listings. Because second time around, it's harder to sell a home after it's been on the market once, twice, 3 times.
Well, people have been looking and they go, wait a minute, didn't we kind of, because people kind of warm up to the idea that, oh, well, yeah, it's time to maybe move. And you have, motivated sellers and buyers, and sometimes buyers are motivated, sometimes not as much. They have the luxury of time in many cases. Yeah. So if they see this thing pop up once, twice, 3 times and never sell, it's like, okay, there's something seriously wrong with that house because it just hasn't sold.
So you want to do that interview process, and to be right up front, I wouldn't hire anybody unless they could supply a long list of expired listings where they've turned things around and sold a property that was listed before and changed some things in that listing, and it isn't just price, it may not even be price, and change them around, so a track record in selling expired listings. Now, sellers often don't know to ask this, and very often they go back to their old agent. I'll talk to an expired listing, and they might say to me, well, I think I'm going to go back to my other agent. They've had the house on the market 6 months, and I say, well, what were your weekly reports as to why your house wasn't selling? Well, I didn't get weekly reports, but about 4 days before it expired, they called me and said the market wasn't right. We haven't found the right buyer. And they're going to relist with them. I don't understand that. You're doing the same thing again and expecting results.
Different result. I mean, yeah.
So I would interview an agent, get the track record, and if you do a good job interviewing the agent, listen to them. They will advise you on the changes you have to make, and that could be price, it could be access, it could be sign, it could be taking the pictures off the website. It could be a lot of different things. And so listen to them and be guided by what advice they give you. And you should have confidence in doing that if you've done the interview process. The other thing that I find so interesting is that expired listings often say to me, well, Sally Brown from XYZ Realty showed my property 6 times. I'm going to list with her. Sally Brown didn't sell your property.
I was going to say, showed it 6 times. How many times did she sell it?
Well, yeah, exactly. So, and buyer's agents aren't necessarily good listing agents.
Is there a difference? You can be good at both, right? You excel at both yourself. But do some agents specify more or
Sure they do. It's 2 totally different jobs, and some agents are great with buyers and absolutely are poor with listings and hate doing listings. And one of the reasons some agents don't like doing listings, it's a totally different job. You have to do a presentation, you have to sell the seller on price, access, guide them, phone them up every week and know what to say if the property isn't selling. Lots of agents don't have the stomach for that, I can tell you.
You need a strong agent to be able to do that.
It's much easier to find a buyer, and a buyer is something tangible. You can sit them in the car, you can talk to them. It's a totally different job.
Crumpets and do whatever you need to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So it's 2 different jobs. There are some listing agents not very good with buyers. So it is a different job. So I wouldn't run out there and list my property with somebody that showed the property 3 times and didn't sell it. There could be the chance, though, that person showed the property 3 times and is a great listing agent. That's possible, and that's great.
Well, that's why you need to do the interview.
That's why you need to do the interview. And get the track record and get it in writing.
I want to get more into kind of the dynamics of an expired listing. And,
Sure.
And how do you turn it around? Maybe we get some examples if that's okay.
Sure, that would be great.
Quick break. By the way, you can get a lot of information on Irv's website, a great resource if you're looking for questions for the interview process, what you should be asking, the answers you should be hearing. Check the website out at www.irvsells.ca. That's irvsells, all one word, .ca. Or call Irv, 790-3753, 790-3753. Turn the key with Inside Real Estate with Irv Tremblay from Century 21. Back in a moment.
On Newstalk 980.